Hello.
Hello, and welcome back to Strange Hunters. Last we left off, our crew finally made their way across the final reaches of the Kvekdal Ocean and landed on the shores of Valkyrie, finding their way from the lighthouse to the small town of Cersei. They said their goodbyes to the crew of the Guild Star, besides those who were traveling with them into the waste, and made their way to the small inn, Parkhaven. Parkshaven? Something like that. After finding their bearings, learning a little bit more about where they were, they decided to spend a final night here resting before they begin their journey past the Stone Serpent towards the Order. And that is where we find ourselves. Some of you here in this inn, as the lights outside have dimmed, and they have just unveiled a small altar to the horned god, who is oft worshipped here in the wastes. Many have gone around leaving little offerings for it. Most of the tourists or travelers have left at this point. Those who are staying in town are most that remain. What are you doing?
I will, before I go to bed, I will go to the Horned God, because I have to.
Oh, you never
And
have, Matthias.
He does go up to it. And I think, because he's like, I don't really. He just goes for it. He's gonna leave a little blood. His blood. We don't have to go into details of how that happens. But he maybe like, I don't know, something small on his thumb.
Mm-hmm.
I won't let it fall into the candle.
It sizzles up and there's this sweet smelling smoke. You step away. A few others go up after you. But for the most part, conversation resumes. It is heading towards evening at this point. But you still have, I would say, maybe an hour or so of daylight left as the sun is setting.
I think that'll be it for me for today. He's gonna go fuck off, find something else to do.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Sleeping.
If anybody
Yeah.
else
Are we
wants
all
to do
sleeping?
things.
I think Barton will just ask Kiara if she's going to bed. You want to stay up, or I can stay up if you want to chat to me.
Oh no, you go to sleep. I'm a little too awake. I think if I lie down, I might get a little dizzy. So I'm going to just. I think Kiara pulls out their little pack of flowers. It's like, I'm just going to do a little flower weaving.
I mean, if you're feeling dizzy, maybe I should stay.
No.
wanna
I'll
make
be.
sure you
I'll be
get
right
up.
here. I'll be. Wake me up in the morning, yes, for sure. But I think I'll be okay.
Okay. Hand on her cheek, on her forehead. Just like, I'm gonna chat to Galach for a bit, and then I'll go to sleep. Heads up.
I think
Gallic? Who's that?
oh my god, you fucking okay. I think Taz is just at the bar. He's been ordering probably ordered shots for the table at one point, but then as everybody's dispersing, has just gone up to the bar and has been ordering shots for himself.
Are you getting tipsy, Tazriel?
Oh, Taz is getting trashed. Well, trashed is a hard not trash. Taz is drinking his sorrows away.
Could you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Do I have to? Must I, sweet DM?
I could say you don't get the save if you want.
I mean, maybe.
Oh my
If
god,
Alex
this
must
version of
suffer, then
Alex
all
is
of us must suffer.
spicy. Yeah, he's like, if I'm hungover now, your character's gotta be hungover too.
Yeah.
No one could tell I'm hungover. No one could tell until you said that.
Mm,
I'm
yeah,
manifesting it.
that's a 9, Alex.
A 9. Tazriel, this sweet drink that you've been having, the Thermae, kind of combined with these shots, you realize as you are seeking that warmth that you have overdone it. When you like reach for the next shot, your vision goes a little hazy. You are well and truly on your way to unconsciousness at some point soon.
Whew.
He'll stumble upstairs to bed then at that point.
Okay. All right. Well then, expedition party. You make your way to the rooms that you've reserved. I think Vice probably is going to once again bunk up with Matthias, and Neve has not left Oasia's side.
That's my daughter.
Oh my god.
It's my kid.
I'm one order.
Right. Well then, I am pleased to tell you that you do gain the benefits of a long rest.
Woo! Fuck yeah!
Really?
Wow, this is
it's
well,
my day.
this is what
You
people.
are also
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you are also resting in an inn that you have paid for. There are some medical supplies here, things like that, so you may heal up to full. Heal up to full, all your spell slots,
Love.
refresh everything.
Oh.
Normal humans feel like after 9 hours of sleep?
This might be one of the last times that you get all of your hit dice and all of your hit points back.
Oh.
In
Oh
fact,
no!
Slash threat.
Like,
You know what that just emotionally felt like when people are like, "Do you realize that at some point your parents pick you up for the last time?"
God.
Oh, no, don't say
do that
that.
shit. Don't do that
That's
shit
what
to
this
me.
felt like. Did you
Right.
realize that this is the last time you've got your
This is the
getting a
last
long
time you'll
rest?
feel real human comfort. Enjoy it,
Like-
bitch.
Novel bypasses that by becoming the little baby furball now and then and just being like, up.
Uppies.
Kiara
Uppies.
definitely gives Novel all the uppies.
I truly love that.
When Kiara's up to bed, like, Novel has definitely shifted down into the little furball and is just like, sleep.
I'm gonna make
She's
the
so
lore
fucking
that
cute.
before a wish got too heavy for their parents to pick them up, they were like, no, for I am now an adult. 3 years old, just like,
I am too old for uppies.
excuse me.
Excuse me, I
Ew,
am 6
all
whole.
uppies.
I am 6 whole years old.
The fact that you haven't read Gideon the Ninth or Harrow the Ninth is astonishing to me because, oof, a little necromantic bitch.
You gotta get through the
Yeah.
first three
Still need to read
pages,
that.
though. It's an uphill battle, I gotta tell you.
That's what I've heard.
Okay. Yeah, so you gain the benefits of a long rest. And if you have any rolls to make in the morning, the bleary, cold daylight of the 15th of Neth?
16th?
It's the 16th,
16th.
actually, because yesterday was the
Sloane
15th.
was saying it.
Yes.
Sloane was very excited about it.
16th of Neth. Thank you so much for keeping track of the calendar that I invented.
You're welcome. I'm the little calendar keeper. I've got it. I've got it on the screen.
You do fake math real good.
You're really good at fake math.
Thanks. I gotta dump my dice out. Should I mute myself or leave it on?
No, I want to hear those click clacks.
I want to hear it.
Let's see if it gets picked up.
Give me that.
Was that
It
anything?
didn't, but I heard it.
Fuck.
Barely.
Bam, bam, I heard it. Ooh.
Well, anyway, back to this.
All right, let me make sure it's morning. Goes by.
Gotta make rolls and shit. Every day I make rolls. If only I didn't
For
send
what?
my fantasy drugs with my fantasy ex-boyfriend.
For werewolf?
Huh?
Listen,
You're rolling for werewolf?
the nice
Well,
thing
says
about
what?
getting
Matthias
fucked
rolls for how
up.
clenched his ass is. And
Sarah's
say
trying to
werewolf.
wait. Sarah was trying to say something. What were you trying to
I'm
say?
fighting in the marketplace of ideas. The nice thing about being fucked up is that I don't have to roll for like at least 2 days. I just reduce that number incrementally.
Wow.
How are you doing?
I mean, I rolled pretty well, but I think that it still doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't matter. So that's fine.
I need to make a roll.
Rolls.
Mm,
Now, Alex,
fascinating.
I don't even know if this is secrets, but Alex was telling me something about the moon shit being, like, consequential. I don't know if that's true, but we'll see.
Well, no matter what you say, Kiara wakes up like a fucking princess.
Yes,
man.
yes.
Yes,
love it.
good. How's
Despite-
Taz?
Despite getting trashed and feeling like absolute shit, Taz
Yeah.
wakes up shortly after, like maybe an hour or two after dawn, drags himself out of bed, puts on his clothing to go knock on Oasia's door to get Neve for training.
Huh? Oh my god.
Right.
Petty.
Poor
You-
Alex.
Can I roll to see if I hear it? If I
Oh, you-
hear Taz getting up?
You don't have to roll.
I,
Oh, okay. Is it like boom, boom?
It's not
there's
like
definitely some noises.
Is this the
loud,
loudest
but
I've
it's-
ever heard the rogue?
Yes.
This is the loudest we will hear the rogue. I think Barden's gotten up because she technically has the same sort of routine as Matty does.
Mhm.
Because, you know, same schooling. Is getting up, sharpening the Titan's wrath, making sure it's okay, and he hears the clomp, 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 and just
I love the clomp clomp.
opening
You,
the door and just try and see him, or to see who the hell it is.
I think you see Tazrael pass by. I will say this much. It actually seems like there is a lot of activity that's happening early, like more than you would expect. There aren't windows out of this tavern because they're just trying to keep heat in, so
Mhm.
they haven't like put in glass or anything like that. But you had heard or seen people like passing by your doors pretty early to head out. Maybe they're just trying to get the most of the
Okay.
sunlight.
I think Barden is hoping to see Taz anyway, but opens the door and just like, "You're right there." Maybe had a few too many.
It's fine. I'm fine.
Comes outside. If the corridor isn't full, closes the door behind us so she doesn't wake up Kiara. Actually, I before we get too deep into the woods, as it were, I think
Oh,
it'd be good if we could talk. You know,
sorry. I messed something up.
about everything so far. Would that be okay? Unless you're busy. I mean, we can wait, but I thought while we're in a place that isn't necessarily trying to kill us, might be an idea.
You can easily see like his face kind of falls at you bringing this up. Like he knew this conversation was gonna have to happen. He's just not excited about it, but he also just kind of sighs and nods and turns back towards the bedroom he got, and just walks in and leaves the door open for you.
It's like back in the door into their room to Kiara and just like, Kiara.
You get softly snored at.
Okay, I'll tell her later. Okay, just closes it. Heads into Taz's room, just okay. Closes. Bit of a lot the last couple of weeks, huh? Last week, anyway. Are you more comfortable with me being like this, or would you prefer to see someone else? I know that Barden hasn't technically been the most truthful with you, so
Oh, no, you can stay like this.
Okay, cool. Sorted. Gonna sit on the bed that looks the least... I'm guessing there's two beds in this room for some reason.
let's say, yeah. There's two
Yeah.
beds in here.
I want the one that doesn't look like it's been slept in, to be respectful. Just, we need to make sure that we're okay, or at least that we can work together, and fight together. I know that I saw that wall, all those creatures, all those monsters, and I heard what your friend said about folks like me. Can you work with me?
I think it's like this entire time you've been talking to him, he's been responding. He's been like not looking you in the eye, just looking everywhere but in the eye, and then at this point just kind of looks you dead, like locks eyes. I still trust you with my life. You haven't given me a reason not to.
Can I roll insight just to make sure?
Yeah, go ahead. Insight guy.
Like, Nova wants to see. Barn wants to see insight. Ba-ba-ba. Roly. Oh, okay. That was only an 11.
I'm gonna call this a DC. Taz, what's your charisma again?
13, or like plus 1.
Okay, then I don't think you are telegraphing anything besides just that eye contact that would pick up on to, see how true this is.
Okay, that's good to know. I know you kind of, when you first met Novel, you seem to be having a bit of a time of it. Do you have any questions?
Honestly, how much do you know about yourself?
What do you mean?
Were you culturally, biologically,
Changeling? What do you mean?
I don't know if I have any questions that you can answer that I either don't already have the answers for or could reach out to a contact to get. Honestly, Barden.
Well, I mean, you don't know me. You might have known the people that you hunted. You might know stories from others. But they're not me, are they? There is a difference. Or there should be a difference.
Maybe I'm not saying this right. Listen, I promise I meant it when I said you haven't given me a reason not to trust you. And I can understand you, and just kind of motions to you as Barden doing this. I understand that, and I can even understand and believe that big parts of Barden are also novel. I don't. There's nothing I need to know about you as a person. Nothing has changed. The only questions I could have are like, what abilities do you have? What if you grew up culturally with your people? And I can get those answers elsewhere. It's not. It's.
And you? I mean, I grew up in one of the greatest libraries. I grew up with a man who strove for every answer. And I don't know if the Empire has more answers than me beyond possibly torturing it out of someone. But you can ask me questions.
Ooh.
I think he's been like standing up this whole time. So like the way I'm kind of imagining is like there's the two beds and there's a desk on the other side of the wall where like the bed's ends are, and he's been leaning up against it. And then he will actually come and sit down next to you. And it's just kind of rubbing his legs a bit, very obviously, like very clearly has something on the tip of his tongue that he wants to ask, but is like stressed out about doing so. And kind of turns his head away as he asks. Can you look like Vel?
I know who Vel is.
Yeah.
I know that that's the person we saw in your dream.
Mm-hmm.
In your mind.
Yes, you were introduced to Vel. Vel
Yeah.
introduced himself to all of you.
I don't know that they're dead, do I? I don't think so. They were just in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Fun seems to think about it and just I'm sorry, but I don't take faces of people who are still using them. I don't think it's fair. They've still got stories to tell, you know? I can't be someone that's already doing their things. I don't think it's right. I think the only time I've ever taken someone who's still about is Siren, because we like to play pranks. But that was with permission. So I think we'd have to ask Vel.
Jen, would you take a point of inspiration?
DM inspires us for being naughty little guys.
Well, if you have a way to ask the dead for permission, then
He is going to very cautiously, because they're sat right next to each other, just the lightest hand on his shoulder. She is gonna immediately pull back if she feels him flinch.
yeah, he flinches, but but I think it's very clear it's less about you touching him and him just being in like not in a place to be touched at all.
Okay. She's gonna pull her hand back and just back in her lap and just, I'm really sorry. They seem lovely. It was a pleasure to meet them, at least. But I am sorry, I won't. It's not. I couldn't ever be. I couldn't be them for you. And you'd know when you'd feel that difference. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was I shouldn't have asked. It was ridiculous.
I asked you to ask me. And I'm glad you felt alright enough to do so. I wanted to apologize for something, if it's okay. I asked to learn Orcish, and I let you believe that it's because I didn't have it in my history, which didn't feel right, but I wanted to learn. I can't, there's no excuse. But kind of leans just a little bit more in, like head down, like not looking him in the eye, but just like, I had a lot of fun learning with you. And if that's something you could ever think of doing with me again, I would love that. I could teach you some Sky Speak if you like. Written down, but I miss you. Gives him a little nudge with her elbow. Like, you know, like a little teasy guy where like
I miss you too. I need.
I'm
I want to go back to how things were. But I need more time, and I want you to understand why I need the time. I don't want you to. It's not because we hunted cultists that were changelings. Okay, it's not because we spent all this time hunting wild touched things. Can I get an insight check, Shan? As Taz is
me
like,
to roll insight?
yeah, Taz is just kind of like, and then kind of pulls it back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 24, baby.
Sure. Would you describe a little bit about Taz's body language for us and where his hesitation seems to be coming from?
Yeah, so Taz is very much just like it. There's a lot of like, it's like he's like I know for me when I start word vomiting, I get I get really animated, and it's like it's just flowing out of there, just every part of me, and then like he's just like and then like pulls that back really tightly, like immediately just shutting something clearly down. It feels like it with a 24. I think you definitely pick up that he's got a secret. A deeply guarded secret that he was just right on the precipice of just Christ blurting out to you in this bid to get you to understand he doesn't have a problem with you being wild touched like the way before. I don't know if like I don't think a 24 it's not gonna like tell you the secret, but you know it's there. You know it's like
it's not because I'm wild touched, it's another aspect.
Yeah, and it's like whatever it is he was going to tell you, I think he might think like this probably would convince them that that's not the case, but he's just like I can't share that. Just kind of shuts it down.
That was a nice description.
Mm-hmm. You can take your time to work out, you know, whatever you need to say. I'll give you that time. I will have your back. I've always had your back. Until you're ready. I don't feel like I should have I should have to say this, and I don't think you would probably think so either. I'd never hurt you. You know that. So many people think that I've heard it. In all my different stories, I've heard stories of changelings and creatures and how they take like the wild does. That's not me. I promise.
I know you wouldn't hurt me without a reason.
I would.
I lost Vel on a mission. And I didn't even know I lost them for a couple of months afterwards. Not because they were gone for a long time, because we got split up. That was my fault, and whatever met up with me a few days later wasn't them. And for a little while things were fine, and it felt like things were fine, and it ended bloody. And I painted I did some things that I think were necessary, but my reasons behind it weren't. And I'm not in that place anymore where anything that reminds me of that thing that took them from me and took their place turns me into something that just wants to rip and tear it apart. But I just need time for this new normal. I know that's not you.
I'm so sorry. I can't imagine to see someone you knew suddenly be someone like me. That all over again. So sorry. I didn't know.
Well,
Fuck! You've been holding that in for like 3 days! It's ridiculous. Fuck.
Kiara doesn't know. The only other...
I wouldn't.
The only... Oish knows now. Not really... Didn't have a lot of a choice in that one, but...
Sometimes too smart for, too smart to figuring things out.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me. I wish there was a way that I could give you answers somehow just by being me, but I can't.
I know.
I've met only one like me now. But they were still not like me. I don't understand it, but... Thank you for doing this with me. It was hard. Someday, when the normal is now, you know, I'd love to introduce you to some of my stories. I think you'd get on with Kasha. He's a bit of a prick, but he's a fun prick.
And then the first like genuine, like full face eye smile that you've seen from Taz. And I think he like gets up at that point, wipes off his face, was like he might have been crying a little bit. I have some training to do with Neve.
Okay. Just make sure you don't. She's kind of wee. Be a bit careful.
I won't break her much.
Okay.
I think he goes to his door and then kind of stands there for a second. We can pick back up the Orcus lessons in a few days.
I'd really like that. I've also got to catch you up on a few things concerning Still has the sword on her back. She's rarely without it when she gets home. Just like there's some interesting shit going on here. I'll catch you up at some point. We've missed you. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go wake Kiara up. She got her training with Matty most likely. She pauses at the door and she's like, when it's normal again, I'm gonna give you a good hug, okay? Heads out.
And he goes terrorizes Neve for the next 2 hours.
Taz, you knock on Oasia's door. Oasia, would you wake up to a knock?
Oasia's dead to the world. They're not getting up until like 12.
Tazriel, no one responds when you knock.
Nope. I think
The door is probably bolted, but you could definitely get it open fairly easily. It's not a complicated bolt.
We also do have the little statue things that we can cast sending to each other.
Does Neve have one?
No.
Nah.
You also have your brain.
I have to see people to be able to make that connection, unfortunately, and I
Gotcha.
don't have message. I think he's gonna knock a little bit harder and say, Neve, time for training. You in there?
Nothing.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
Like father, like daughter. Sleepy disease.
Are you gonna get the door open?
Fuck me. Hold on, let me roll because odds he thinks, okay.
I
she
think this
slept
is good
in.
training for keeping you on your toes all the time. I'm just saying, it's like a.
You know what? You're so right. Yeah, he's totally gonna do it. He's gonna
I'm just
Give
saying.
me
I'm
that.
just saying.
Thief tools. Do that out. 27.
A 27. You open that bolt so soundlessly, and it's just like easy for you. You don't even have to take out the thieves' tools. You just fuss around with it, and you realize that it just kind of swings off because it's loose, and you just open the door and then put it back.
What if Taz had a long pinky fingernail? And he was like, it's so I can play my instrument, some instrument from the Raj Empire, like a stringed instrument. You know how guitar players will have like long nails?
That is not the instrument you meant, and fucking own it.
I did it. Why would you have a
You know what?
long fingernail for instruments? Not those,
Not
not
the
flesh instruments, metal
You know
instruments.
what?
And he's like, oh yeah, I
So
use
what's
it
the
to play
end
my
of this?
fucking viol. And it's just, he uses it to pick locks. I just think it's cute.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there.
No.
Azrael,
No?
will you
Okay.
give me a perception check?
Oh my god, are you not in here? 16.
Okay. A 16. You push open the door and you see Awaish is curled up on the bed, and Neve is kind of curled up almost like a cat on the end of the bed, just like cuddling into Awaish's side. You also notice Neve normally wears these like very, very long skirts. You see that she's dressed in just sort of like a long shirt shift, and there is something strange about one of her legs.
Taz is gonna. Oh god. Like, Taz has come in with the idea that either Neve has overslept and he's gonna turn this into a learning moment, or Neve is not here and something has gone wrong. But does he register? Does he understand? Well,
You kind of first glance take it in, and then you see that soft pink skin going down from the knee towards the ankle. Her foot is strangely almost clawed, but not clawed like canine or feline, more clawed in this almost iridescent, feathery way.
So
A-
rough that Vic has to make a new character now.
oh my fucking god. Okay, where's
this
Darren?
black
Like,
carapace that's spreading up, and
Oh,
the leg
Darren's gonna
itself is
tell on you so
in-
bad.
do I see Darren?
Oh wait, was Darren keeping guard?
I think that whenever Awaish sleeps, because Darren doesn't need to sleep, right?
No.
So Darren does the, like, you know how cats don't sleep, and so when you sleep they like freak out. So Darren's always like when Awaish sleeps, because you gotta make sure they don't die.
You notice this, you step in. Do you say anything? Do you react at all initially?
Motherfucker. I think in his head he's just like, oh my fucking god. Oh my, like, just like, you know, like, is thinking Awaish and I are just now in a better place from the last fuckery and does not want to deal with this. So you know what he does? He obviously probably sees Darren, and Darren obviously sees him. So what? So
You
what
don't
is?
see Darren currently.
Oh, I don't see Darren. Okay, I think Taz is assuming Darren is somewhere. Like, he's just like this magical fucking book. So, still being as stealthy as he can be, he's gonna write on a note. He's gonna write a note and put it on the table.
Write a note.
Yeah, look at Awaish. Make a mind connection, and then the little note says, "We can talk. Just speak to me." It's gonna last for 4 hours, and it's then gonna go back to his fucking room because he walked in on something.
You turn around to walk out, and you see that kind of spider webbing himself over the door is Darren. His papers have unfolded, and there is a single eye on the center of the door that is wide and staring at you.
God.
You didn't
hold on.
even hear him move there.
That's fine. That is so fucking fine. Let me double check this. Actually, I don't think Darren gets in this.
So if the book gets destroyed, is it like a find familiar spell? Or is it like more involved than that? What happens there?
Complicated.
Yeah, I bet. What a shame.
So Taz couldn't see Darren before, so he couldn't have made a mind connection.
That's true. You do also know that you saw Darren poof away like when you first met Awaish.
Okay.
And then came
Yeah, you've seen it happen before. That
Okay, cool.
essentially
So,
what
yeah.
happened was Darren like fell to the floor, just a book. So you can technically destroy the book, but you can't really destroy the Darren.
Oh no, that's not
Unsummon
what's
the
happening
Darren,
here.
but you can't
Yeah.
kill. Yeah.
I used my one free use of this to make the original connection. I'm going to spend an actual psionic die to remake the connection.
If you want to make one to Darren, you don't have to. Darren
Oh, sweet. Yeah,
just
let's
speaks
just
in your
talk.
head.
Listen, I came in here to make a training point to Neve. because we are supposed to be up in training right now. I've obviously seen something that is not my business. I left a note for Awaish.
The eye blinks, slowly closed, and then opens again.
Listen, I don't care what this is. It's not my business. All right, and if you want me to stand here until Awaish is up to talk about it, fine. They can wake up and talk to me about it whenever they want. All right, I'm not here to.
I'm not here. Be in trouble.
Sure, probably.
The pages pull back over the door so you can swing it open. You know how
Before
to keep
he
a
leaves,
secret?
Yes, I know.
You better.
just chuckling in Darren's head about you are an interesting entity.
Yes. They're gonna sleep in.
All right.
Both of them.
Fine.
Goodbye. Night.
Bye, Darren. And yeah, Taz goes back to his room and is just exhausted at this whole situation.
Okay. There's no more.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. The rest of you, Matthias, are you getting up to do any training this morning?
Oh, yes. Matthias is up and at 'em early in the morning, and he goes out and probably does a little run around in the snow by himself early in the morning.
You jogging?
Yes. Takes off his armor and shit and is gonna go for a run. And just does like all the calisthenic shit, all it, and then we'll get his sword and put some more clothing on and we'll go through his motions and then he'll go find Kira.
What time is it when you come find her?
It can be up to you. Do you have a preference or what time it comes
well,
to you?
I just meant in terms of like, would it, because I think Kiara probably woke up while Barden was not in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And so would he have come before then or after? Because in which case Kiara will not be in the room. She'll be downstairs at the bar.
Oh, I think that her being downstairs at the bar is great because he'll walk in and just be like sweaty and gross and will come up to her because he is looking for people to go out with him and walk. He wants to get the party together. Yesterday he said, "Let's go to the woods. I'll show you around. Like, welcome to the wastes. Let's go look at things."
Welcome to the way.
So I think when he sees her, he'll just walk up to her and say, "Good morning. How did you sleep?"
Kiara is sitting there, and I think like she's not dressed for travel, but she's dressed enough. It's kind of like most of like the underlayers and then the big coat.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kind of like the coat's a robe
yes.
a little bit. And she probably has her hand curled around a warm drink. Yeah, we're gonna call it hair to the dog. Let's go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The Vermeil people are drinking steaming mugs all around the room already. But now that you've been out, Matthias and even Kiara, again, you've seen people like in and out early. Shipments of food have been delivered to this inn already. You've even seen like sailors have just come in here to grab something warm to take a break. They're unloading and offloading different things. A lot of cattle as well. Like just people have kind of passed by. The door swings open. You see a herd of these like very shaggy white goats that are being kind of loaded onto the dock and onto some boats.
I love it.
Yeah, Kiara, at your voice. Oh, good morning. I slept okay. That was a lot of sugar, but I'm hoping this will help.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. I've also run into the same problem with Forme, so
Well,
I'm not alone.
I mean, I think Kiara just like tilts their head and looks at you. But you seem to be doing okay. How long have you been up already?
3 hours? Force of habit.
Do you sleep? Do you get enough sleep?
Yes.
If you don't have to wake up in the morning, how much sleep does your body need for you to feel rested? I'm a 9-hour person myself.
I suppose I've never really thought about that.
It's very interesting getting in touch with what you actually need and, like trying to give your body that. I recommend it. It makes me much happier a person in the morning, even when I'm hungover.
I suppose I'll have to try that. Unfortunately, there's always something to do.
Breakfast at Abjur happens from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah, Abjur is basically like an all-you-can-eat like resort where you just kind of roll up and the buffet's there.
Yep.
I said, what about breakfast and after?
In relation to the, I'm gonna say something cursed. The sugar makes your hangovers worse. In college, I used to drink vodka waters with soda for that reason. I mean, with
Vodka
lemon. For that reason.
with soda.
Vodka
Sarah.
cut with water, spritz of lemon.
Sarah.
Terrible taste. No hangover.
Sarah, same.
Yeah. You know the dark texts.
I know the dark. I have read the dark book. Mine was, at least I sparkled my water.
Yeah, no, we didn't have time for that.
God.
We were in Virginia. They
Not
didn't have anything that fancy.
Not even a little bit of texture in the water? Nothing?
No.
No texture.
That's
They
like
didn't have
spice.
that's like 3/4 of the joy of drinking a drink.
Here's the thing. I
What if
didn't.
you're clubbing, baby?
You know where I heard about this cursed vodka water thing? I believe it was an interview with some Thunder from Down Under dancers, and they're like, oh yeah, like women always ask us to like come out and party, but we have to like maintain this basically dehydrated look for our muscles, right?
Oh my god.
And so they're like,
Yeah.
only clear liquor and only mix with water.
Uh-huh.
That's so sad.
That's
I'm
so.
making-
I learned it when I was dancing on the floor with my friend, and I was like, "What are you drinking?" And she was like, "Vodka water." And I was like,
I'm
What
making
is
an executive decision. I am too hungover for us to talk about alcohol anymore.
"Okay, all right."
Okay, all right.
Line for the session.
Okay, let's get back to it. Where Kiara is asking you if you've ever gotten in touch with your actual body needs.
I mean, I've been on. There was always a schedule. I suppose I've kind of always been on a schedule.
Oh, yet another way in which I've been incredibly lucky.
Don't you think
I
it would
did
help?
what I wanted.
Maybe a little bit of structure.
I don't know. I've gotten this far without it. Although I guess you have imposed a structure, and I mean it usually means I'm very grumpy in the morning, and I'm sorry about that.
Some people are grumpy in the morning. Vice is
I'm
grumpy
not
all
if
the
I
time.
get enough sleep.
He does say Vice is grumpy all the time, and then immediately looks over his shoulder to make sure she's not there, and says, "I mean, even a little bit of grumpy in the morning. What's a little grumpy?"
Oh, I'd be like grumpy, or if I was like Vice, and if I was just grumpy all the time, I don't think
Did
I
someone say my name?
God.
Oh.
Good morning, Vice.
Is it?
Kiara literally points to Vice and goes, "Hey!"
I
Is
was,
it a good morning?
Well, it's actually pretty nice outside. I was looking for everyone, because I know we mentioned going outside for a walk, maybe in the woods.
Oh, yes.
I had too much to drink last night.
Kara's just gonna, without a word, because I guess this is their relationship with Vice now, just slide a mug over to Vice.
The princess is good for something.
Vice.
I'm good for many things, if you give me a chance. But it's okay if you want, at least Maddie will. And she'll get up and start tugging on Matthias's elbow.
Are you two going for a walk?
Yes.
Don't
I
get
want to see the
lost.
forest.
We won't get lost.
I believe in your training of Matthias.
That is the only thing that makes me sure you will come back.
Hey, I
Bye,
think Vice
Vice.
just said she has faith in you.
Kiara,
Yes.
have you ever heard of a molar bear?
What?
All right, I need to dissociate from my body. Okay, there. Okay, we're done. No.
It is a bear made of teeth.
Really?
Is Vice being serious or is she shitting?
This is a fucking thing.
Vice
It's a thing.
is Vice drop bearing me? As someone who is engaged to an Australian, am I getting
Give me-
drop beared right now?
Give me an insight check.
Kiara's too dumb. This is Pooja asking.
I was going to save the molar bear for later, Vice.
No, I want to make it very clear. It's our first morning in the wastes. A molar bear is like bottom rank, lowest tier of things you can bump into, okay? So just keep your head about you.
This is part of the tour. I'm going to give a tour. This is part of the tour. We're gonna
Okay.
talk about it.
And don't forget to talk about the ice snakes, okay, Matthias?
I won't forget the ice snakes.
Those ones aren't real.
Well, I think
course.
Kiara's hand just gets a little tighter on Matthias's elbow. And it's like, wow, this place sounds cursed. I'm glad Matthias will be there.
He will like
Are we
reach around and pat her on the back and just start walking towards the door.
Oh, ooh. Kiara goes with you.
He's gonna shoot you a wink, Matthias, as you exit.
Let's go.
I'm
fucking-
sorry. Was Vice fucking with Kiara or was Vice wingmanning? We will never know.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that we run into a molar bear or we see one. I don't know. Something else fucked up is in the woods, though. I'm sure. I'm excited.
It's like, are you taking Kiara to a horror movie just
Yeah.
so that she'll cuddle up into your side out of
It's
fear?
a horror experience.
Well, wouldn't it be so romantic to just sit by a campfire in the waste and just watch a giant worm, dive in and out of the ice in the distance?
Well, no, I
watching
meant
the-
it's like the high school thing, which is like, oh, we take a girl
Yes.
to a horror movie on a date so that
Yes.
she'll cling to you out of fear.
Let's go watch the beasts of the waste devour each other and gnaw on their bones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
it's so cute. All right, you two head out for your walk.
Yes.
The rest of, Tazriel and Barden, you have done your morning training, getting food, and then, Oish, you said you're probably getting up closer to the afternoon?
Yeah.
All right.
Just sleep
Fantastic.
sunbathing. Gotta
I
get rid of that
really-
exhaustion.
I've
Yes.
also said good morning to Titan's Wrath and said hello and how
Mm.
are you this morning, and that can be it. But Barden is going to say good morning to her sword.
Your
Important point of
sword
order.
Yeah, it's
seems
important.
there's not much, actually, will you give me a charisma check?
Oh.
So I just roll for charisma, yeah?
Mhm.
Kidoki. Ooh, that was a 19, so 21.
21. All right.
Mhm.
Your sword, again, she doesn't seem super smart, but does engage in dialogue with you, especially while you are practicing. The sword will just kind of say that was a nice cut, or something like that. It's like having a little voice in your head that's
Yeah,
going,
sword over here,
"You're
just like
doing a
that was
good
kind
job.
of hot there. I
Very
love
nicely
that.
done, sire." And it's pretty, it's pretty affirming.
Just like you need your self-affirming sword. Who doesn't need one of those?
Yes. But
Just-
mostly you're not getting a lot, I would say, of interesting conversation.
Is it kind of like talking to an NPC until you've kind of gone through the dialogue?
Yes, it's
I
like
see.
that.
She's still
God.
gonna talk to. She's still gonna talk to her. She seems like a person. Like
Mhm.
she seems intelligent to a point. Just like
Gotta
"Thank
go through
you,
all the
thank you very
dialogue
much."
options.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you very much. And tucks her away.
Excellent.
when I play
But
Dragon
you
Age.
also kind of note that Titan Breath does seem like a good listener. Like there's this interesting feeling of just practicing by yourself, but also kind of being able to just like chatter a little bit, the way someone might do if they're like talking to themselves, cleaning or something. So there's kind of that like running sensation of a bond that maybe you always felt with this sword, of just like the sword that you've trained with and the sword that you've had, but this bond is now something that you can speak to, not just something that's like the feeling of the steel in my hands is comforting.
The realization that Bard and a novel have definitely spoken to the sword and just like complained about shit and just like,
Yes.
oh god, do you remember everything I say?
Not exactly, but
You
we've
get-
been
okay.
conversing in certain ways for a long time.
Okay. So you don't remember that thing I did with Saren?
I'm not sure.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Thank you very much. Just wanted to check.
Excellent. Yes, you have a lovely conversation.
Love her.
I think then we will continue with Matthias and Kiara out on their walk in the woods.
Yeah, let's walk. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. All right. So,
Over here, drags you into the woods by force.
Drags you into the woods. Drags you.
Drags you. These winter clothes are so cute, I have to say.
Aren't they adorable? That's so
The
nice.
sun comes up blearily. You go.
I'm trying to
There
look
we
for the
are.
woods. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Hi. Oh my god, the size difference between these two.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's fully wonder. It's delightful.
It's a
Tall.
it's a whole foot.
Tall and small.
That's a person there. Like, that's a person size.
You could fit a whole nother person between Kiara and Matthias.
And that person is Jesus.
Don't know her.
Say his name, Matthias.
Kara's like-
Lord.
Kara's like, I don't know her.
It's Jesus.
The altar mall, fine lord,
Fuck.
all devouring and consuming the porcelain king.
Not now.
Matthias.
The porcelain
have
king
you
does make him sound like a
considered-
toilet.
Matthias, have you considered worshipping a god that's inside you instead?
My skeleton is inside me.
No, I'm. That was me, not Kiara.
Oh.
No, we're not having this conversation about fake Jesus in character.
Okay.
I'm just like, you know what's great about worshipping heat and passion? It's all inside, baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, all three of the elder deities are, in fact, inside of everything on this plane. So,
Jesus
yeah,
is
but
in
I
all of
worship the
us.
god of sex. What's up? Continue.
yeah, you do.
It's the god of fucking, and that's what's important.
Well, I mean, Bane is also like directly that. You know, there are clerics of Bane who just help you
Fuck.
get in touch with your pleasure.
With fucking.
Nobody has come and
job.
asked Kiara about being a cleric of heat and what that entails. So this is on all of you. So
Kiara, will you tell us about the fuck priests of Galra?
Tell me about the fuck priests. I want to know. Do you want to watch
Listen, between
Matthias
the-
go from white to red in 1 second?
between the fuck priests and the courtesans that raised her, Kiara's got
Good.
stories.
Let's do this
Anyway.
fucking walk. Let's do
Let's
it.
do this fucking walk.
Alex,
Without
take me
the
on a
fucking.
journey.
All right. You step foot outside of the minor warmth of the tavern, and Kiara, you are immediately hit by that chilled sensation, so unfamiliar to every day that you've spent in your childhood walking outside. You bundle up, your clothes are warm. You can feel that heating charm beginning to just sort of radiate across your body. So even though you are both warm, there's still that breeze that's blowing your hair back. There's still this sensation that if you were not protected, you would be very quickly made uncomfortable. Stepping past the small graveyard that sits here and past the herds of cattle and animals, you recognize some of the sheep that were on the Guild Star have likely been sold here. Meat is quite valuable here on Valkyrie, warm meat especially. You then push into this pine forest that's out behind. There's a small river that runs from the ocean here. It looks like it connects sort of further in the distance to where the ground raises up. Maybe there's some kind of melted spring or something that connects from the higher peaks down to the edge of the coast here. So you can follow the river into the woods, knowing you'll be able to make your way back fairly easily. Some of the branches are coated in frost and snow, but the wind blows some of them clean. The scent as well is delightful. There's none of the crowded smoke or bustling of the many people that you might have faced in Aethri or on your journeys down the river-wept network from the capital city all the way to where you found yourself joining the expedition. There's just this crispness in the air, an immediate sense of isolation that I think is very familiar to Matthias, but maybe still new in some ways to Kiara.
I think I had mentioned earlier that when the snow fell, when we were like trying to cross that bridge and all it was like snowy, I think that was like one of the first times Kiara had experienced that. Mm-hmm. And Kiara has never, this is the first time Kiara's really experiencing a true winter wonderland, and fittingly, they look like a kid on Christmas when it has snowed overnight, and it's just this beautiful white expanse, and it's I think they're too thrilled by the different vegetation, these different shaped trees, the texture on the ground to realize fully like that it's brutally cold, yet like it's just, yeah, this is beautiful and stunning and gorgeous, and we haven't yet hit the point where it's like I only want to be here on vacation, I don't want to live here. Like that's not a thought yet. It's all new and beautiful. And fittingly, Kiara, you mentioned that you could follow the river and get back, but Kiara has no idea. Kiara has not been paying attention to where they're going. They're head on a swivel, looking at all the pretty things, following Matthias, and just like inherently trusting that they can, which, I mean, she's been this way since the beginning, where it's like, I'm gonna have faith that somebody else will get me. It's like, Kiara's definitely that girl who will get too drunk and be like, my friends will get me home, it's fine.
Yup.
Good.
Perfect.
I love that.
And
Respect.
you definitely see that she is just like even wider-eyed than normal and has just this childlike amazement, wonder grin plastered on her face.
Matthias also looks pretty happy. His shoulders have been progressively lowering as we've gotten closer and closer.
No, I'm gonna ask. How are the butt cheeks?
They're still clenched.
Okay.
They're still a little clenched.
A little clenched.
But there's more of like there's like a freedom to his like movement and a little bit more in his expression. Like there's kind of like a smile in the eyes and like a small, just like it's something about the way he's holding his, like the muscles in his face that looks more open. Mm-hmm. And he will as soon as we step into the woods, begin to point out like the different trees, and if there are any like interesting rock formations or any like crystal formations, there are like special kinds of ice that form only in the wastes. If they get away from the town and come across any of those, hair frost, which is just like forms. It's frost that forms in like the crystals grow in fibers because it's something to do with like the density of water in the air plus the temperature is like very specific, and so it's like very soft, and you can like run your hand through it and pick it up, and you can see like strands of crystals that have formed together, and I'll also like find a pine tree that pretty much only exists here, and we'll take a couple of the leaves and break them and like hold them up for Kiara to smell.
Very
because
strong scent.
it smells different than the ones you've seen on the other coast, on the other continent.
Kiara is eating this shit up. She loves it. When you hold out some of those pine needles, I think Kiara's gonna grab a couple and with the intention of like, and add it to her little like ADHD weaving bag.
Yes.
So she could add some to her flower crowns. And then I think when the entire time, every time you point something out, Kiara's like, can I touch it?
Could I take a nature check from both of you?
Okay.
No, Alex.
This could also be survival, if you would.
Oh,
Mechanically.
survival?
Yes.
I'm a guide you.
Matthias, yes. He has knowledge. He does know things. He just forgets sometimes. He's not a smart guy.
I would like to roll survival, please.
Yes.
NATO. Come on.
14.
14?
Yes.
Also add a D4.
Okay.
You don't have to. My God.
No, I want to. I rolled poorly. It's on me.
Oh no!
that
I
is-
thought your curse was broken in the ways.
It's not. It happened once, never again. Okay. That is a 6.
Oh, Matty boy. Matty boy.
I think that I should have advantage.
Yeah, I will give you advantage. You take advantage. You can add the D4 again.
That one was a natural 20.
Yeah!
That's a 23.
Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. Matthias, you have every reason to know this place very, very well. So it makes complete sense that you are able to point Kiara away from some of the trees that release a very sticky or corrosive sap that can just like get all over your hands and clothes. You are able to navigate pretty deftly from where you could see the river has kind of wet some of the dirt and snow and caused some slippery patches here, or just places where like the shade of the trees might have caused, something that might cause it, either of you to trip. You are able to point out kinds of snow and frost in a way that's very beneficial. So saying like, if there's this texture, if you touch it with your bare skin, you're going to be very uncomfortable, versus if it's like soft and powdery. So conveying all of that information, very helpful. With the survival in the nature, you also come across a set of tracks.
Yes.
And you immediately recognize what animal they are from. These are from the goats that you might have seen earlier. They're called acrams.
The goats. Now these aren't
Yes.
the sheep. Like these aren't. Do we have any of these at the? Because we have sheep at the order.
Yes,
They're
these
special
are
sheep.
These are not the special sheep. These are goats that are specifically, they're wild here. They're known for like being very good climbers and very fast sprinters. And then their leather is also used in a lot of different ways in the wastes.
I feel like we.
But they're like very shaggy, and they've got these big curved horns like this. Actually, I have a little picture.
Oh, boys.
Little guys.
Very cute.
Can I be the goats?
You want to be a goat?
Can I be the goats?
Yes.
Bah! All right, thank you.
You hear a sound. Sarah.
Amazing.
You're welcome.
That's a necron.
At one point, when you're when you're showing Kiara like the soft snow hair kind of, I think Kiara's gonna grab a fistful of that and then like grab Matthias's hand and be like, "You're not actually cold as ice." It's a joke. It's obviously a joke. She's laughing.
I will say the coldness of the hands is inconvenient at times, but it does mean that things don't feel as cold. So,
And I think
benefits.
yeah. And I think the ice, instead of like just melting, I think it might be like there's a little bit of like steamy mist around because Kiara gives off a lot of body heat. You know, we average into normal body heat.
Yeah. It's like when two people, it's like a person who has like a lot of ass and no ass, and they're like ass transfusion. That didn't make any sense.
Is that how we talked about it, but I don't think that's how that works.
That's not how it actually works. It's just like, you know, people talking about, like, you know, ass transfusion. That's where my brain went.
That was a great metaphor, Sloan, that everyone understood and got.
I was like, welcome to what our pre-game conversations often entail.
Okay. If they're able to, we'll sneak on the goat. I want to see that goat. Like
Is there a goat here? I thought it was just like old tracks.
Tracks, but you want to try and you heard a ba.
I would love to follow the tracks. We did hear a far off.
You're not in your armor, are you?
He doesn't have.
Did you get dressed in armor or not?
I think that he might. I think I might have said that he. I know that I went for a run without it on, and I think that he would have maybe. I'm gonna say he put it back on.
So he knows that like there is always a chance.
Shit's dangerous. It's dangerous.
So are you sneaking?
He does have disadvantage. Yes, we're sneaking.
Okay, you can both make stealth checks for me.
Disadvantageously.
Ooh, a natural 17 on the die.
I got a 9.
18.
Okay. Your armor is a little clanky, but let's see what these guys.
Clanky.
Kiara's kind of a little prowling.
You're prowly boom.
Well, this Akram is not paying attention
yes.
at all because I got a 3. So.
Thanks.
Sarah's living their life as a goat.
This is my dream. I actually think this is. I want to play this character.
I need to co-DM a game with you where I just have you on as the animals.
Yes,
just the animals.
Sarah the Foley board at this point.
Yes.
Sarah is Foley. That is the role.
Sarah, can you give me a goat that has just noticed a particularly tasty patch of pine needles? That was something.
That was a sound.
That was great.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Okay. You two kind of follow the tracks through the woods here and do eventually come to just like see in the distance the furry hindquarters of one of these goats. It's sort of a soft gray, kind of speckled, and then you see these magnificent curved horns just past one of the trees.
They do have a tendency to, I don't want to, I see, the thing is that I don't want to be too, I don't want to take over Alex's world building. I was about to posit that they faint.
The goats faint?
Like fainting goats. You never seen fainting goats? You seen those?
No.
Really? No, there's a
Oh my god,
type
yeah,
of...
their legs stiffen and they literally
Sarah's...
just fall over. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got really excited.
Yes, it's like it's their no, it's not coping mechanism. It's
like
a survival technique.
Roly-polies, they faint.
Yes.
Now, I will say, as much as I love the idea of fainting goats, I think anything that faints in response in the wastes would not survive as a species.
Listen, that's fair enough.
These are listen, fainting goats, that's something that is often heard. It's a common mistake of people who haven't been in the wilds, in the wastes. What they actually said was flaming goats, which is when they feel threatened, they shoot fire.
Yeah.
Shit fire.
No, I think they say shoot fire, not
No,
shit fire.
Shit
Cannon.
fire.
They shit fire, not like.
I
shit
have
fire.
I've seen
can
that
shoot, but
illuminated
shit is
manuscript illustration. I've seen that in medieval text, I
Kiara,
think.
you won't believe this, but the fire shooters, it is very special breed.
God
Matthias?
damn it, fuck.
Matthias,
Okay. I have to, okay.
Should we avoid their droppings?
No. At the very least, it's not this species. I think that's a. I'll say that I have yet to see one of them shit fire.
Okay, well, that's something.
No reason not to be careful though.
Fair. So I think Kiara's happy to just look at them from far away. They're on a walk. They're not gonna.
Matthias thinks about killing one, but doesn't.
I'm glad murder is not on the menu on our little walk.
It's not murder, it's hunting.
Kiara's a vegetarian.
Oh, that's right.
They are definitely hunted in this area. I would say they're almost not an quote invasive species, but there are a lot of them.
You gotta eat what you gotta eat.
Yeah.
Kiara's never been in that situation.
Yeah, fair enough. But
Same
I
thing
think
in the waste. Things have to breed very heartily in order to make it, so, you know.
you gotta fuck hard to live here.
If only your god was god of fucking.
Fuck fast or die trying, girl.
Bone is not the god of fucking. Bone is the god of very clinical procreation.
Yes.
Wait, wow.
Is the god, is related to nature. But also, Roll the Grey, also known as the Horned God, who is mostly worshipped in the Wastes, is specifically also tied to the creation myths of centaurs and minotaurs. So is associated in many ways with some of those horns, bowls, etc.
I think that my main goal for this was to go out. Matthias' main goal was to get everybody to dip their toes into the wilds. It was only the two of them, but it was very lovely. And he
Everybody asked one person.
Yes.
Cool.
Everyone was gone. Everyone was doing other stuff.
Shh, it's okay. You
They're
can have
out
quiet time with Kiara.
You can have one-on-one time with Kiara, but Bada was in their room. I'm just
Taz was also in his room, so...
Okay, all right. I didn't look. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's okay. You don't have to say everybody on the walk. You could just say, you mentioned wanted to go to the woods. Kiara was like, oh, I want to go.
I just want my favorite with me in the woods.
The two of you are looking at this Akram here, and then you hear a strange, sort of far-off sound.
Sarah?
This
Matthias, it's your cousin.
Is it an owl?
Yeah.
What is the sound?
What's the fucking
I'm
sound?
playing it.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Okay.
Where are you playing it?
I hear
I
it.
played it in multiverse.
I have multiverse up. Why didn't I
Oh,
hear
it was a howl.
Yes. Kind of a
Hold on.
baying howl that chitters off into a bit of a laugh almost at the end.
Oh, that sounds like a coyote of some kind.
Or a null.
Yes.
No.
Or a null.
I've got it. Hold on, I'm playing it and
Let me play.
There we go.
Let me.
that didn't fucking work.
Yeah, it did. I heard it. I don't know what's going on with y'all's volume.
I'm doing my best. Anyway,
Wow.
I heard it.
We just were randomly playing music while they were playing music. So
I had my
Yeah,
output
like,
set to the
wonderful
wrong device.
rip.
look at all these.
Ooh, but I hear it
animal
now.
noises I've got.
Ooh. I think. Well, we're all saucy today. We're just gonna go with that. Kiara's going to, at the howl, just kind of once again, reach for, Matthias's arm. Tiny hand, big arm. And just be like, what was that?
Alex, you said howl, but then you also said chittering laugh. I'm very interested to know if this is specific to a certain kind of creature.
Considering you got a 24 on your nature check. What is that?
VJ's communicating with me.
You said chittering, so I was like,
Less of a bug chittering and more of a kind of he chitter. Like a that is the chitter sound. Yes. You have heard this before. In fact, like Shan said, this could be some kind of jackal creature. But also gnolls there are some families of gnolls that live in the wastes, and particularly on the archipelago where you guys are.
Which we happen to be there.
Yeah.
That does sound like locals, so we might want to go back inside.
Okay, you think they sounded far away, right?
It sounded far off.
Okay.
No reason to test fate.
Enough.
Those are gnolls, probably, though. Pretty common in this area.
I guess we will be out here soon enough. But before we go back, I don't know, but I don't know if you know, but I did see Novel hugging you yesterday, and they told me what you did, and that was incredibly kind of you.
It was the least that I owed them. You are right. And I'm still adjusting to this. It's a new point of view for me. But you were right.
Do you know what I like best about you? You're...
Sorry,
Yeah,
you
go
just
ahead.
kind of look surprised.
You're... Despite being our leader and, because of that, having the ability to tell us what to do, you are so open to learning and changing your mind. And that's one of the things I like best about you, but that's also why I would follow you wherever you needed to lead us. Because I know you're not guided by blind obedience. What you believe in your heart.
Thank you. I hope that I can live up to that.
What do you have? Look at what you did.
I have a... Thank you, Kiara.
And then I think Kiara's gonna reach forward and hold your hand.
He will hold her hand back and reach out with the second hand and just hold on.
Oh yeah, she's not letting go as we're walking back.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to do that, buddy.
Oh, okay. Okay. If they're walking and she's reached to hold his hand, he'll kind of like, I think for comfort, will like wrap it up in his arm, so it's kind of like she's holding onto his arm while they're walking. And walk back, follow our footsteps in the snow back to the inn.
Walk back quietly, hand in hand, arm in arm, and despite knowing that danger lurks around every corner, Matthias, there's still a sensation that you are not alone.
He seems pensive. I mean, he's usually pretty quiet. But
Azrael gets a message in his
oh boy.
What's the message?
Come to my room. And that's it.
You in trouble.
Oh my god, I hate it here. I hate it here.
The way that Sarah's face drops into a wish is hysterical. Well, Tazwariel?
He's been sitting in his room on his bed this entire time waiting for this to happen.
Hands just like knitted together.
Not even like that. Not like he just, oh god. And like, I think he even tried to like, I think he tried to do some of his creature comforts, you know, like writing to Vel, like tried to open up the book and just
Actually, question for you while you're doing this, Tazrael. Has anyone reported to your supervisors that you've reached the wastes?
I think. Sorry. Which supervisor are you talking about? Tazra?
Nomi or Siren? Or
I think
Tazra?
Bud would expect Matty to do it, leader, but I don't think she would have thought about it.
I
She might want
probably
to say
did
it's a
it.
Siren.
Matthias would have done it. Sloane's just ADHD tired.
No. That's. I was asking because it makes sense and it's something you guys would have done. But actually, yes, Tazrael, you do have your way of communicating with your supervisor.
Yeah. Taz would have sent that message that they made it into the waste safely. Would have sent it the night before they started drinking, like just gotten that done with. But yeah, I think he's just been waiting. It's like, I'm not training Neve right now or today, and was planning on throwing himself into the training as a way to distract himself, and here's Neve not awake. And so he's just been sitting in his bed trying to figure out what to do with himself. Tried writing to Vel, couldn't put anything on the paper, and then finally here's Oasis. And so he gets up and heads to the door and knocks.
The door opens after you knock, although there is no indication of how the door opened. Wizard shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Awaish sitting up at the desk in the room. I think there's probably like a chair or something. Neve is not there, and Awaish looks perfect. Not a hair out of place. Their face looks fresh and youthful. Like there are almost no bags under their eyes except for like enough to make it look still normal for who Awaish is. And their clothing is just like, the only way to say it is like imposing. Perfectly in place. And they sit there and look at you.
I think the second he walks in and takes that in, he's just like, I want to apologize. I was in training officer mode, which is not an excuse, and was using it and came in to use it as a training opportunity with Neve, but that was not an appropriate. My head wasn't where it should have been and that won't happen again. The coming into the room.
Tazriel, I liked to have thought that we had come to a certain measure of understanding. Do you find that to be the case?
I do find that to be the case.
So you know that it is of no measure of spite or anger towards you that it is necessary that I do something like this. Some secrets cannot be guaranteed by trust. I'm going to need that question now.
All right.
Tell me the name of the person in your life that you care for the most who is still living.
I think he kind of searches your face as he thinks on whose name he's going to say. And I think like just some internal things real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think he really contemplates saying his father's name. Knowing that's a lie. But also being unsure if he's good enough to deceive you. 1 and 2. He did give you this question on his honor. And so he'll say, Davari, my mother.
Very well. And of course you did not see anything.
No, I saw nothing. And I'm to assume as long as I continue to not have seen anything, nothing ill towards will happen to my mother on your account.
I hope you understand that I do not enjoy making threats of this nature. And as such, I do not want this to be perceived as a threat.
Always. It very much feels like a threat, but it is a threat of my own doing. So there are no hard feelings here, and there's a moment where it looks like he wants to share something with you, and in his head he's thinking back to the fact that he knows you took that like memory from him of that dark place and all that pain, and then just shakes his head about it. This is fine.
All right. Oash is just staring at you, and I don't know. I think it's interesting if you get just a little bit of maybe there's a passing thought in your mind where you're like, holy shit, are they scared? Because you've seen them like die before, and that's never crossed your mind. It's only here that you have that thought, even passing as it is. And then they clear their throat a bit and say, I suppose we should be getting ready for our journey.
I think so. Crosses his head, and I think there's a moment where he is so intensely curious about what is going on in this situation, and I think he genuinely contemplates like pressing about it a bit and sharing a bit of his own things to maybe get the conversation going. And let me roll about it if he's gonna do
Share
it.
time?
Maybe evens he does, odds he doesn't. Was the door closed behind? Like, if he didn't close the door, was the door
Oh
gonna
my
be closed?
god, yeah.
Okay,
Aaron
cool.
is holding the door closed again.
Yeah. And Oish would have mage-handed it shut immediately after you entered. Yeah.
Does like chuckle a little bit. You know, when this expedition first started, if somebody told me you would be the person that knew a number of my darker secrets before others, or at all, or that I'd even contemplate telling you, I'd have laughed in their face. I didn't think that we wouldn't grow friendlier as the journey progressed, but your demeanor when we first met was not giving me hopes for any serious budding camaraderie.
I'm shocked.
I find it curious that of all the questions you could have asked me, with all the knowledge that I have, the interest you had in the Zert when we were in my mind, as it were, that you would use it to get the name of someone I care about, to protect whatever I didn't see in here earlier, and it makes me want to know more. And I know you don't give something for nothing.
I hope you realize that you know, unintentionally, more about me than I wish to share with any member of the party.
And I hope you know that you know that as well from that memory you took from me.
I thought I was taking something else.
And I thought I was coming in here to make a little training point to Neve. I don't want this to sound like I'm pushing in my capacity as a fire knight.
Are you trying to accuse me of caring for my daughter?
I'm not trying to. I would hope you would care. Do you know what it is that you saw in that memory that you took from me?
Here's the thing. I don't know if Awaish necessarily knows about the location that Awaish saw, but and here's where I'm going to push is that I have said that Awaish comes from a culture where they use stories to learn about people. And Tazriel's story was about a child getting lost in the woods.
Yes, Awaish would make that assumption, I think.
Yes.
Because stories in your culture tend to have something true about the person telling them.
Yeah. I have cause to believe that certain stories you have shared have more truth in them about your own life than fiction.
You would be correct. The small cabin we were in first before being back in my home. It was on the edge of the Nkekwan. Belongs to my mom's side of the family. And when I was about 6, I got lost in the darkest parts of it. And wasn't seen again till a few years later. And when I came back, I had these strange abilities that I couldn't control. And I think as he's saying that, he's just kind of doing like his little psionic daggers back and forth, not in like a menacing way, more of like just a kind of playful like. And I hurt so many people. I killed someone for the first time. And it set me on the path that I find myself today.
Oh shit, those drag races on the wastes.
This might fix us everything.
Another weird animal.
Yeah, it's an animal.
Out for drag race.
Jesus Christ. But whatever I didn't see, it looks to be something wild. And whatever I have is too.
Why would you spend your life in pursuit of wiping out things that you are?
I only wipe out things that are dangerous, that hurt others. I've never hurt anyone or anything that didn't hurt someone first. And I'm not here to hurt Neve. Just like I'm not here to hurt Novel.
How do you know that something is to be killed simply because it strikes? Some have no option but to do the striking.
I wish I'm not a monster. Okay? I understand Not everything is black and white. You strike first, you have to be put down. If I believed that, I wouldn't be standing here. I would have been my first victim, to be completely honest, after I got my own training.
I do not have a large amount of trust for those who serve organized governmental factions. I do not say that to mean that I will never trust you. I mean that we have our work cut out.
We do.
I get a wisdom saving throw from Tazriel.
Hmm.
Why?
Jesus.
Alex, I don't like it. That's fine. Yeah, Alex, that's gonna be, you know what? I don't think I'm a wise boy. I'm not, so 18.
18?
Not bad.
Noted, thank you.
I do not yet have reason to believe that if you were to receive an order, that you would not follow it.
He nods at that. And I think he'll like just look at you and say, I think Kiara being here is proof enough that that isn't the case. But I respect.
No. Exceptions within your own ranks do not count. I am very aware of those. I have even been guilty of it myself. Neve enjoys training with you. I hope that will continue.
Nothing has changed for me. I look forward to when you know I'm not just a man that does whatever his superiors tell him to do.
I hope to look forward to that day as well.
Maybe when that trust is there, I can maybe there's more for me to share then. And I think he'll get up at that point.
As you exit, Awaish just kind of puts their hand puts their hand on their face, their head in their hand, and says to Darren, this fucking sucks.
We could still kill him.
I can't do that kind of thing without running it by Matthias. I did make an agreement.
maybe he'll give you permission if he understood the gravity of the situation.
And tell someone else.
No.
I just want to fix this.
Well, she's here. So, you can still try.
Yes.
And even if Tazriel tells someone from the Rays, they won't be able to see either of you.
Oh, I do not want to kill someone's mother.
Have you before?
I'm sure. I mean, someone had to be a mother, right?
I don't know, I wasn't there.
Okay, yes. Well, you were there. You just weren't awake yet. All right. I'm going to... I haven't been able to trance, which means that I need to set down what happened to me in that dream. Are you ready?
He moves over to the desk and then falls open in front of you.
Just summons their quill and a mage hand and just starts writing out the dream.
Mm-hmm. How about we leave it there for this week, I think, since we got started a little bit late, but I'm very excited for next week. I'll let you guys know. I think we have one hefty encounter left before our next level up as well. So I am excited about that, and we will be heading out of Cersei soon. There are some interesting people for you to meet, and obviously some letters for us to read as well. But I don't think we have session next week. Am I correct in that?
It'll be the 25th.
Week after next week, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have session next week. We don't the week after.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's the 25th
Fantastic.
we've got.
Okay, well, in that case, thank you guys so much for watching. We had a lot of friends in the chat, and it's always a delight to have you here. Once again, our maps are courtesy of One More Multiverse. Our music comes from Soundtail. Thank you very much, Soundtail. And you can catch all of our previous episodes on our YouTube at Total Party Kiss. Social updates on our Twitter and our Instagram, same thing, Total Party Kiss. Feel free to follow us on all different platforms. Throw us support. We always love to see new friends and old faces. And I'm not sure if there's tragedy this week. Do you know, Sloan?
Unsure.
But we do have Tragedy of Theologian, which is the D&D mythological Greek mythology show that is most Sundays here on the channel, Sunday evenings. So always keep an eye out again on our socials for any posts about that. I think that's us for this week. So we will see you next week and have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.